What's up, guys? Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. As you can tell, we are here again at Blackout Tinting. We're trying to get the C8 ready to go for this Florida trip. And there's one little thing we got to do before this thing is road ready. So let's get into it now. All right, guys, so a lot of the mods have been happening while we've been up here at Blackout Tinting. It's because Blackout was putting on the Clearplex on the windshield, and there's one final thing they're gonna help me with that will be in a future video. But what we're doing today is one more step closer to getting this thing road ready, and that is going to be protection for the front grille area. Now, if any of you guys out there own C8 Corvettes, or even if you don't, you can probably appreciate how wide open that area is. And as you can see, it just gets bugs, rocks, small Honda Civics, all kinds of stuff gets sucked in there. And when it does, it beats up the radiator. On top of the fact, clogs it up with bugs, all that stuff. It looks bad, and it's not the greatest for the radiator itself. Now, you guys may be asking why GM designed it this way. Why is it so wide open? But it's really to be as accessible to air as possible. So the car stays cool while driving really hard on a track and that kind of stuff. And I can appreciate that, but at the same time, I don't really appreciate road debris and stuff ending up in there. So luckily, we have an option. We actually have two options. Now, this is where things are going to get really interesting, because the option I have here is going to allow us to fix the problem of rocks and bugs and little Honda Civics, like I said, getting sucked into the front there and damaging the radiator, or best case scenario, just looking bad whenever it's full of bugs. So either way, this option here is going to fix that. Now, I told you I have two separate options because two separate companies sent me their fix for this. The first company, which is the one we're going to be installing today, is by a company called C8VetPartsOnline.com. Now, what I like about this one is it's pretty easy to install. It's held on with double-sided tape, but it's the VHB stuff, the very heavy bond, so it's not going anywhere. But what's really interesting is if we look at this compared to the factory stuff here on the back of the hatch, it's the same exact kind of stuff. So it looks very factory. It's that honeycomb shape. This is actually made out of aluminum. It's powder coated black, so it will match everything in the front of the car. And it is very reminiscent of some of the factory stuff here. So yeah, it's gonna fit right in with the car. It's gonna look like something that GM could have possibly actually put on the C8 to stop this from happening, which I still don't really know why they didn't do something like that. The limited holes here, I doubt affect airflow that much, but that's not for me to say. So this is where they're gonna go. This one is for the driver's side. It would go just like that. Obviously, there's a little bit of prep here. We got to clean up the surface and get it double-sided taped in, but yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, you can barely tell it's on there from a distance. Especially from a distance, all you're going to really see is the actual grill shape that GM gave us. But it's going to stop the bugs, it's going to stop the rocks. It might even stop those Honda Civics I've been talking about. So this is the instructions here, guys. The one thing that's a little bit interesting is that these are not for track use, and they're not for long-term hot weather use. Now, I know this is probably just lawyer jargon, but we're about to put this on and take it to Miami where it's 95 degrees. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We're supposed to test fit each inlet cover before peeling the tape. So you guys know how I feel about this double-sided tape. You know, the very heavy bond stuff with the red covering, protecting the tape. It's interesting because it's really hard to get off. But what's funny is they actually give you a little plastic, real sharp pick tool to get the tape started. Like, I can really appreciate this. I can really get behind this company when they do little things like this that just make your life easier. Obviously, we're going to use some alcohol to prep the surface before sticking it down. Like I said, if you want it to stick, make sure it's prepped. They're talking about the black nylon tool and what it's used for, and they're saying how it's packaged. So I think we're good here. So down at the bottom, it says for the bottom part, to make sure you're trying to attach the correct side, the top two tabs on the bottom part face toward you or out. All the bottom tabs face towards the radiators as seen in the picture, which is right there. Pretty much self-explanatory here. I don't think it's too much that we got to really read into, but yeah, let's start prepping the surface, get this stuff ready for installation. I think this is going to be pretty cool. I really like the idea of keeping these things clean, because if you took a rock too fast to that radiator, it would literally puncture it and you would start leaking coolant. So not a good time. This is an easy fix. let's get to it. All right, guys, so as you know, we're here at Blackout Tinting, and I think it's kind of funny. I asked Josh for some alcohol to clean the surface, and this is what he gives me. So this is how you know you're at a place that does a lot of business with some isopropyl alcohol, because he buys it in the gallons. They actually came with the little packets, so we're good either way. You buy these screen inlet protectors, you don't need to borrow anybody's gallon of isopropyl. You can just use one of these guys. So anyway, we're gonna rub down these surfaces here, make sure everything's real clean, and then we're gonna start applying these things. Let's get this installed and see what kind of protection, how it's gonna look, all that good stuff. All right, so just the surfaces that are gonna get touched with the double-sided tape, we are going to rub down, make sure are real nice and clean. The better that this is prepped, the better this stuff will stick, so make sure you do not skimp on this step. So the next step is going to be to start to remove this protective layer here. You guys know how I feel about this, but this is not the easiest thing. This pick does make it a little bit easier, so this is going to be a tool now at the Horsepower Obsessed Garage, because yeah, that definitely helps out a good bit. And there we go. So we're going to remove all the pieces off of here to get started on the very first install. I'm not going to make you guys watch this though, because I'll be honest, I don't like this so much, and I know you don't either, so let's skip to the next good bit. So there's one done. As you can see, it really does not move once it's in there. It's got a good couple points of attachment, but we got to do up here next. Two separate pieces. So with this one in, that's basically what it's going to look like. I think this offers a lot of protection. It's definitely something I would recommend. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this one permanently attached, and then we are on to the passenger side. All right, so there it is. One's done, and the passenger side is not. So as you can see, it kind of darkens it out a little bit more. It actually looks really cool. And honestly, it comes with double-sided tape. Like I said, it's the very heavy Bond stuff, so it should stay stuck pretty nice, because that's the same stuff that holds the rear taillight covers on the C8 and my C7, and it holds really well. But worst case scenario, those holes are big enough. If you wanted to stick a zip tie through there and grab one of the actual factory grill pieces in the back, you could do that too. Totally up to you if you think that's worth it or not. I think that VHB tape will be just fine. I like it. I think it's going to work out nicely. Like I said, this trip coming up to Miami, a lot of miles, a lot of bugs, a lot of Honda Civics. So one last look at these before this last one goes on. I already got the top one applied on the passenger side. You can see the tape protective layer has been removed. So this is the very heavy Bond tape. It is actually perfectly clear, just like it was for the taillight installation. You can see right there some of it's hanging off. So when you put this on, it is literally invisible. It looks like it's held on there. It looks like it's factory. So I'm gonna go ahead and slip this in there, which is a little more difficult than it sounds. The instructions do their best to kind of guide you through putting this in there, but at the end of the day, this tape wants to grip on the top, on the right, and on the bottom, because the left side here doesn't have any. And you gotta kind of fight that all while getting it into place and then let it set. So it's not, I can try to show you the best I can here, but yeah, I mean, you're really gonna have to just kind of wiggle it around and get it in there for yourself. But if I can do it, you can too, trust me. So here we go. That's placed pretty well. I'm just gonna try to slide it a little bit here. The tape will allow a little bit of a slip. And you just want to press down on the areas where the tape is at to kind of lock it into place. Just like that. So we are good. As you can see, those are not going anywhere, and they look pretty freaking awesome. All right, so that is basically going to do it for the install here, guys. It's not really a big, difficult thing to do, but I actually I actually really like the way those look. On top of the fact they're going to add some protection, and it's going to get really crazy for this trip. You can tell even just by standing right here. They look more factory this way. It's kind of weird. So like I said, if you guys are interested in something like this, I will put all their contact information down in the description below. I really like the way these ones look, and I know within the first day or two, these things are going to be loaded with bugs. So stay tuned for that, guys, so you can see exactly how these things are working. I'm going to be doing live videos as well as filming pretty much everything I can while we're driving down to Miami, so you will see an update on them. If you like the way that these look and you're iffy on how well they're going to work, I will have a video for you. I'm going to have live videos talking about how the car is doing and specifically how those are doing. So yeah, I'm very impressed though. I'm going to give C8 Vet Parts a big thumbs up. They're doing pretty well. These parts look very good. They fit very nicely. It looks like it was literally designed to be on this car. I'm kind of wondering why Chevy didn't do something like this from the factory, but yeah, I'm very impressed with them, guys. That's gonna do it for this video. So if you guys liked what you saw, give me a big thumbs up. If you have any questions about the C8 content, any parts that we've been putting on the car or this whole trip to Miami, go ahead and shoot them in the comment section down below and I will get the answer for you as fast as I can. If you guys missed it in the beginning of the video, I am here at Blackout Tinting. That's why this garage doesn't quite look like mine, because it's not. Big thank you to Blackout Tinting for housing my car for a long period of time. They, like I said, they installed the Clearplex on the windshield, and something else is going to be getting installed here shortly. That means the car needs to stay here. So while it's here, I've been doing some mods, getting it ready for this big road trip. But either way, they've been cool about it. So big thumbs up to Blackout Tinting as well. Check out their YouTube channel and give them a subscribe as well, because they're going on the trip to Miami. I'm going with them. We're both going to be kind of sharing content throughout the entire trip. So if you want to stay up to date with all the stuff Horsepower Obsessed related or Blackout Tinting related, jump over to their channel, give them a subscribe. They'll be there in full fashion along with me. So yeah, that's about it though, guys. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I'm going to have loads of C8 and C7 Corvette content coming you are not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.